Hey guys, Chris Bill, Comic Book University, and Fall and Rise of Captain Atom, issue number 6 of 6. That's it, the final one, we know it. Okay, it was a limited series anyway, so this isn't a canceled series. It was meant to only be 6 issues limited. What happens here is that we get to find out that while Thrain and the new Captain Atom, so Ultramax and Captain Atom, were actually in a little butting of heads at that last issue, the most recent issue, I should say, this is technically the last issue, is that they got to see a glimpse into each other's lives. So Thrain got to see that he's got a son. He didn't realize that it was his son, but that kid Kenji is actually his son, and he knows that he's important to him, so he went and kidnapped him. He knew where he lived and all that stuff. So now he and the general have to go there and exchange the general for the kid, and then, yeah, of course, Ultramax is going to try and kill them all. Now, what did Captain Atom see? Easy. He saw that Thrain was actually hired by the general, General Elling. So, yeah, hey, stupid, guess what? So, regardless, he figures out that he's the one who hired him to go and start offing all these people, and that he's the one who also wound up ratting him out. So, yeah, he just realized what's going on. So they finally have a final battle. It doesn't make any sense because these guys are not scientists. They're saying words. It's like on Star Trek, you know, saying some of those things actually wind up making sense, okay? But they make sense in the long run. I guess when you keep throwing enough stuff at the wall, something's going to stick. And they just keep on throwing more stuff at the wall. Look, you can't throw out a freaking tachyon field. There's no such thing, okay? You can't throw out a tachyon field. But, yes, technically warp converters and warp drives and whatever, things like that, they could potentially work. But anyway, in this, none of the combat makes any sense. It's just people basically shooting beams of energy that are hurting each other. And they try and say, well, with this, I'm doing this, and with that, I'm doing that. Yeah, no, you're not. On top of that, how is freaking Thrain so much better at this than Captain Atom? It doesn't make sense. It does not compute. Will Robinson. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So that's a little annoying part there. Anyway, at the very end of this, he beats up the bad guy. That's all that actually counts. And when he beats up the bad guy, he gets taken away, and everybody lives happily ever after. He doesn't explain to Genji that he's actually his dad and stuff like that because it's going to be hard to do. And the reporters are talking, and we get to see that maybe he will join the Justice League or something to that effect. Yeah, cool. Cool, whatever. For the most part, this was a pretty good comic. I'm going to give this a C+. It was enjoyable. Mind you, the last issue of a miniseries, not only reflects the comic itself, but reflects the entirety of the arc because, well, by necessity, it is the wrapping up of the entire arc. So that's just how I'm grading this. So by itself, it would have been lower. It probably would have been like a C, maybe a C-. I don't know, by itself. It's hard to judge it by itself because there's supposed to be a resolution here. So the resolution counts towards the entirety of the arc. So yeah, anyway, this was an okay series. Just little things and, he's an okay character. Here's the thing. I was never a huge fan of this character. I read a lot of his... Okay, I'm going to say I read a good moderate proportion of his comics. I didn't read all of his comics. I didn't even read half of his comics, but I did read him in the past. Some of his solo stuff, some of his Justice League stuff. But when push comes, and I liked him in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited TV show, Justice League Unlimited specifically. I liked some of his stuff there, working with Green Arrow and stuff. But, he was always that character who's just, he's super duper powerful, but he's a glass cannon, a pinprick, and all of a sudden, I've got to fly above the atmosphere so that when I blow up, I don't take away half of the earth with me. Yeah. Glass cannon, buddy. Glass cannon. So I'm glad that aspect of him is at least gone. I hope that we never see the containment suit nonsense again because it was just so annoying. But this was, so that's the main thing that I really take away from this series, that whatever, at least he's not a glass cannon anymore. There are still problems, though. Like at the very end, little tiny problems. Hawkman was in this. He didn't talk, it was just like a single panel with the rest of the Justice League, and they're all there chilling out, and he's drawn well. Everybody's drawn beautifully. I have no complaints with the art. It's the idea of his presence. This was a 6-issue mini-series. You know what else was a 6-issue mini-series that just ended a month and a half ago? It was called The Death of Hawkman. You know what happened in The Death of Hawkman? Hawkman died. Hawkman is dead right now. I hate being a whiny little biznatch over this, but like seriously, Hawkman is dead. Can we have a little bit of continuity? Do these people who make comic books, do they even read comic books? I mean, it's their own company, for crying out loud. I'm really just being silly more than anything else, but like seriously, Hawkman is dead, for crying out loud. Wait until he comes back in Metal. I believe it's Metal he's coming back. That'll be his rebirth. Anyway, guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, class dismissed.